is hard work. Chat, I got to, bro, chat. I'm tired, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it over and over. I'm tired, bro. I don't care. I don't care. Never get tired, bro. Never get tired, chat. Never, ever. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Y'all seen it happen here first. Word to my mother, you seen it happen here. Day first.
Being good at it is just like anything. Like anybody can do it, depending on your consistency and how hard you work and how you gain a liking. Obviously, it's a formula. You got to do it the right way. But if everybody had the formula, which is just be consistent, be on all the sites and everything else, anybody can do it. Literally, it's like the people that's what's so special about the people that's the biggest right now?
Their work ethic.
Exactly. They all human. They all bleed the same. They all have the same type of emotions. Everybody got problems. Everybody got their own issues. It's just the work ethic. Life is about this. Life is a roller coaster, man. What's a roller coaster with no hills? You feel me? The best part about a roller coaster is what? The drop. But the upside, when you're going up the hill, when you drop, guess what happens? I'm gonna up with this one. When you drop on a roller coaster, this is about life. If you going up like this, right? Eventually you gotta drop. But when you drop, the next time you go up is way quicker. The grind to the top on the first hill gonna always be the one that take the longest. But when you drop after that first drop, the way up gonna be way mother faster. Stay locked in, y'all. We locked in for L, for life. If you playing football and you going head on for a tackle, if you stay there like this and don't move and push forward, what's gonna happen? You fall back. But if you go head on, if you strong enough, you're gonna push through. Touchdown, goal.
I'm just I was a regular kid, you know what I'm saying? At some point, I lived in Pontiac, Michigan, which is the ghetto. And it's the hood, you know what I'm saying? A lot of bad shit go on there, you know what I'm saying? I lost people, I lost family out there. A lot of stuff that goes crazy in Michigan. I'm just happy to see 22, man. I worked very, very hard to be where I'm at right now. At some point, I had 0 subscribers. At some point, I had $0. At some point, I had 0 anything. At some point, I was just regular, but I decided to think outside the box. I decided to, take school serious. I went to college, you know what I mean? I ended up dropping out of college. My second year, sophomore year, I dropped out of college and I moved to LA. And my life been different ever since. It's all about taking that leap of faith, but also being smart with it and also believing in yourself. Believing in yourself is the #1 thing if you want to be successful.
But this is what they don't understand though, bro. Like, dude, if let me ask the camera a question right quick. Y'all watching this. If you were to drop dead right now, bro, and you know what I'm saying, you went up to heaven and whatever you believe in, and you met God, and he said you could have been this, you could have owned that Lamborghini, you could have owned that McLaren, you could have got whatever you wanted in life, you could have retired your parents, you could have, I don't know, whatever you wanted in life. But hey, you were too worried about that girl. You were too worried about going to parties. You were too worried about not having discipline and spending your money on getting drunk every single weekend and smoking all of the weed you can and going out with those friends who don't care about you. How would you feel? You cannot go back in time and change that. And a lot of you guys, you're scared and you get embarrassed. You're like, oh, what if I start this business? What do they think? Or, bro, you come into this world alone, you die alone. Why are you caring about what other people think?
Every billionaire is a bigger thinker than every millionaire. They simply think bigger. And they started thinking big when they were just starting off, when they were broke. Don't imagine that they started thinking big when they started making money. When they were in high school, when they were in grade school, when they were in college, they had big dreams. They had big dreams. I had a guy tell me one time, he says, Kevin, the only difference between you and I is the size of our dream and time.
Hard, bro. Stay focused. Stay on your path. Stay on your fucking grind. I be trying to tell people this shit all the time, bro. I love when bet against me. I love when people bet against me, bro. I love it, bro.
luck. Y'all remember when I was like 19, it was like, God, you never gonna have like your own shit going. And this really don't even mean shit, cause this is not what we grind for. It's just the little add-ons that come with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go so hard, it just come with it. When you go hard, bro, you grind bad. Like, you really just stay true to yourself, bro. These are just add-ons. I call them add-ons, bro. They just add-on. You don't need it. I don't need it. You don't need it. We don't need it. But they add on because you grinded for this, bro. They bet against you and they lost their bread.
I know a guy that's worth $7 billion. He's 55 years old. He's the biggest stud of all time, self-made. And when I meet up with him, he asks me questions about things that he knows 10 times more about than I do. And I always say, Mark, bro, you have more experience, like personal experience with this thing that you're asking me about. Why are you asking me? And he goes, maybe you've uncovered some new information that I haven't heard before.
Always learning.
Maybe there's been some new developments. Maybe you have a perspective that I didn't consider before. Maybe you'll repeat something that I knew but wasn't in the forefront of my mind that puts me in a position to take action on that information that you gave me. And I'm always like, damn, dude, Mark's just, that's why he's worth 7 Bs.
Success was never one of the possible outcomes. There's a Kobayashi Maru situation. If you're in the Matrix, success was never possible. The only way to achieve success is to reprogram the Matrix such that success is one of the possible outcomes. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
If you give anybody a business idea and they start to make money, and they're making money, now they're making more money, now they're making more money, most people will have all the motivation and discipline they need to continue doing X idea and become very, very rich. The problem is people try things, they don't work. They try something, no money's coming in. They've tried something else, it's been a year, they don't see the results. And that's the hard part. That's where the discipline's really, really important, because you're never tired when you're winning, right? So one of the things you can do is you got to find ways and metrics to measure success.
The focus for young people that seems so painful, God damn it, everyone else is having so much fun and I'm having to learn this. Just keep telling yourself that you're doing something that your brain is going to reward you with several years down the line. So that friend of yours that seems to be having so much fun, in 3 years, they're going to be sliding down the ladder, working at some crap job, whereas you're going to be rising up. So just keep your mind on the larger issue there, and know that working with what your brain works well with will pay incredible rewards down the line.
We don't want to see that shit. We don't want to hear that shit. We don't want to see no inspirational ass quotes, no none of that, bro. Just do it or shut the fuck up. You got your little plan for 2024, and so do everybody else. Lock in, do that shit. Don't tell nobody your plans. Pop out silently, like grind silently. We don't want to hear that shit 2024, bro. Just actions all year. Actions all year, bro.
If you are able to overcome that point of thinking of quitting and sticking to your work and the effort that you've put in to be able to get close to your goals, to be able to get past that and keep going, that is going to determine whether or not you are going to be successful in anything in life. If you're hanging on the edge of a cliff, have you ever done a muscle up before? You probably haven't. But if you are hanging on the edge of a fucking cliff, will you be able to do a muscle up? Probably. But when you're in the gym, you can't. The only difference, your life is on the line. The only difference, there's no difference. It's just the head, right? It's just your head saying you literally have to get the fuck up or you're dead. Versus in the gym, you're thinking, I can't do this. I've never done this. And everyone's going to look at me and embarrass me and, judge me because I'm going to try and do this muscle up and then I can't. And I'm going to give up halfway through. Versus if you're on the edge of that cliff, you are going to get up no matter what at all costs. And that's what it's going to take for this. Literally put yourself in a pit of despair. Put yourself so you have to do this to fucking survive, because that's what happened to me. I literally had no money in my bank. I had to DoorDash on the fucking side, but obviously that wasn't going to pay the bills. DoorDashing does not pay the bills. But that shit was good enough to give me the money I needed to pay for food, to pay for some rent, okay? And then that's where my actual profitability started. When I was like, holy shit, I need to take this serious. I need to get my life together and turn this shit around, because I am literally at rock bottom. I knew that point was my bottom. Because I was so miserable. I was so depressed. I was so broke, and I was so lost with my life. And I'm sure, I'm 100% sure I'm talking to the right audience right now, because I know a lot of you guys are in that situation.